Although right now it looks like there's currently not anybody in the audience, but it doesn't change the fact that maybe at some point in the future somebody will come back to this video, and the information will still be of value. So this is my first stream. Took me a little while to figure this out, but I think we're up and running now. So let me go ahead and get this screen here. And so the reason we're doing this live stream right here is I want to recap my thoughts over the first month of my fitness journey. So this is the opportunity here also at the end, if there's anybody in the audience, to provide an opportunity for you to ask questions and then for me to potentially answer them. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So initial thoughts here. Again, this is my first attempt doing long-term alternate day fasting. I've done other fasting in the past. Some of the fasting that I've done has been the 24-hour fast, so one meal a day. And then you'll do like a 72-hour fast, and then you'll go back to being normal. So my thoughts on the alternate day fasting, it's actually a lot easier than the OMAD diet, the one meal a day. I did like the OMAD, but one of the downsides in particular was that it's always essentially the same meal. So you're always either always eating breakfast or just eating lunch or just eating dinner. And it makes it hard to kind of be around in a social setting, especially with my family. When I would do the meal, one meal a day, it worked out for the most part with my family at home if I just ate dinner. But then I wouldn't be able to eat anything with my coworkers at work. And I'm a big fan of eating breakfast. I like eggs, I like cereal, I like all those things. And I really couldn't do that if I was just always eating dinner. Alternate day fasting actually, for me, is a lot easier because I do get to have those 3 meals a day. I am able to eat essentially whatever I want, although I've been trying to eat healthy here. But I also still do have some of the snacks. And missing one day of eating really isn't all that bad. And I actually find myself not necessarily hungry on the fasting days, but I do miss eating a little bit. The social part of it, the taste of the food, but it gives me something to look forward to on my feasting days. Other thoughts here. I'm a month into this, and I'm about 10 pounds down. My waist is maybe down an inch. I was hoping for something a little bit faster, a little bit, getting results a little bit faster, but doesn't seem to be the case. But that's why I'm doing this. I'm documenting everything here so that hopefully down the line, when somebody else starts this process and finds these videos, maybe to be beneficial to them. And then overall, especially when I'm talking about the strength training, I'm better than where I started. Everything from losing the weight that I have lost, losing the inches that I have lost, and being able to lift more, run faster compared to when I first started. So every little bit helps. So looking at some of the exercises here, I tried to get a vast collection of different exercises that I would try to hit. So the different curls, the bicep curls, the hammer curls, the shoulder presses, bench press, deadlift, squats, the pull downs, the triceps, the leg presses. So as you can see here, a lot of different parts of the body were being hit. But one thing that I noticed here, I created this by include more ab work as I'm going forward. But as I mentioned, just pulled these slides from the week 4 review, which shows a recap of all the different exercises compared with where I started all the way on the left for each of them to where I am now. And every single one of them has seen at least some level of gains. So I'm lifting more, I'm running faster, I'm doing jump rope longer, all those type of things to demonstrate my progress. Now, the other thing I want to talk about here, the different food that I've eaten. So if you've watched any of my weekly videos, you do get to see a recap of some of the food I ate. It's not always healthy stuff. You can see in the middle there that there's different ice creams, there's cakes, there's desserts, there's donuts that I eat on a regular basis. Um, but looking on the left side, almost every meal that I had some type of salad. So the salad included not just your green leaf lettuce, but your kale, your spinach, your carrots, tomatoes, some chickpeas in there for a little bit of extra protein, maybe some eggs, maybe some type of meat like the crab meat, or uh, some turkey, maybe some cheese thrown in there. So ultimately, at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, I'd have full servings of vegetables. And on the far right side, you also see that each of the meals were fairly healthy in terms of the proteins. So even in the dinners themselves, the lunches, I also had additional vegetables in there. Everything from carrots to spinach to broccoli, um, even additional salads thrown into plates, green beans, corn. You can see them all there. Uh, what I really didn't do, though, a lot of is the grains. As you well, grains I have a little bit in there. If you count the quinoa, some of the rices that were included, um, but the grains, the dairy, which most of the dairy I would have would be consisting of the milk that I would have for desserts, or some of the yogurts for breakfast. Which again, one yogurt a day is still a little bit of healthy protein based dairy, but still need more servings. And then the other thing that I'm missing a lot of is fruit. So I mentioned this in some of my week 4 video, that I noticed that I wasn't eating enough fruit. I would occasionally have a banana. I'd have maybe some blueberries or some raisins in my yogurt or my oatmeal, but other than that, really low amounts of vegetables. I mean, fruits. So I'm trying to actively eat more fruits, some strawberries, some bananas, some apples. So trying to mix them in, some orange juice, some actual oranges as well. So that's one of the things I'm going to try to do moving forward to try to get more healthy, is include more fruits, include more grains of some type, and try to include more dairy. All right, so upcoming changes. Again, I talked about this in my previous video, but I'm going to try to get myself to push more to failure on the exercises. So what I mean with that is, during the strength training, I've found that I've been able to do all the curls or the bench press or whatever I'm doing that day, and I still have a little bit left in the tank. Well, a lot of the science out there, the other videos that are out there will say, if you don't push to failure, you're really just slowing yourself down. So I'm going to try to be more conscious of that, modifying my sets so that the last set of every exercise I do is to the point where I can't go any further in a safe manner. Again, I'm trying to eat more fruits in a diet, also more dairy, and then I'm going to also try to incorporate more ab work. One of the things I'm going to do, just like I added in a boxing class a couple weeks ago, I'm also going to try to add in an ab class on Wednesdays. So the first one will be coming up this week, so we'll see how that goes. Um, so other than that, let me close out of this, and we'll see if anybody is actually here for an AMA. It doesn't look like anybody right now, but again, hopefully in the future, if these things continue, we will have some folks. Be sure to like this. If you're watching it after the fact, be sure to subscribe, get the latest details. And with that, that's all I have.